Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, hope y'all feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay, it's alright, my friend, because you know why? Bad times don't last forever. After every storm there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that, every day to that rainbow, that pot of gold, lighter in the tunnel, whichever one you prefer, my friend, okay? But in the process, I want you to know that slow and steady wins the race. Keep going, but also please be mindful of the bad times because they helped us get to the good times that we have been praying for, manifesting in all those good things, okay? So hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? Once again, if you're new here, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? Y'all, cheers to the second week of April. We have 3 more weeks to go. I really hope that second quarter has been so far doing so good for you. I can say, y'all, for me, second quarter has honestly been relaxing versus how the last quarter was back in March. March kind of was like a roller coaster ride, a little bit of an emotional roller coaster ride for me. I just want to put that out there because if anybody's feeling the same way, trust me, my friend, you're not alone. I understand. And if you have been having, like, you know, you've been living in the moment, you've been getting things done, it's like it's been a ball of gumdrops and everything like that, I salute you, my friend. I very do salute you. But for all of the Viber friends out there, trust me, it's going to get better one day and one step at a time. This quarter, we're still in semester 1, but this quarter, second quarter, you know, we got April, May, June. So second quarter, July is the second semester starts, and third quarter starts July, August, September, October, November, December. That's fourth quarter, and then, you know, quarter 2 be over and all those things like that. But yeah, y'all, overall, I just hope that so far April has been putting in work for you. It has honestly so far been a breath of fresh air. Not gonna lie, y'all, I think it has been going good for me because for my internship, you know, / work with the kids, they went on spring break. And this spring break part 2 was honestly needed because my spring break for my university, it wasn't it to me, low key. And this, by the kids going on spring break and, you know, being on break from my job, again, this was needed, okay? That spring break really helped me. I feel glowing and everything, y'all. Yes, y'all, if you're watching on the video, I did not cut my hair. I got this nice little sleek little bun going on, you know. It's hot, y'all. It got hot up here in my city in Baltimore, y'all. It got hot. Saturday I went out. Sunday it got, you know, on Easter, whatever, it was raining. Then it started the sun coming out. I don't know, y'all. I was just hoping, I'm like, I hope I don't get sick, because, you know, I was wearing open toe shoes, all that. I'm like, I hope I don't get sick or whatever. And plus, it's allergy season, so y'all, I hope y'all got y'all medication, all that good stuff. But overall, I just hope that within the second quarter you do pour in more to yourself within understanding who you are as you're stepping into this next level for you, and just embracing everything, impact yourself. Okay, so like I said, if you're new here, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this but true to this, hey y'all, what's up, what's poppin'? As always, I thank you guys so very much for taking the time out of your busy day to listen or to watch me. You guys' support and love does not go unnoticed. Every day I try my best to check who has been downloading, listening, everything like that, and it don't matter how much or how it goes, it increase or decrease, whatever, I'm still appreciative of you guys because it shows that you care for me and I care for y'all, because I'm still going to do this regardless, and I'm going to keep on going, and I'm not going to stop until something happens and I gotta stop. You know, like I say, your health is wealth. If your body tells you, you can't do it right now, then cool. But as always, I thank you all so very much for your love, support, and all those things like that. Very, very much. Now let's get into it. So we have reached 41 newsletters. As always, if you're interested in being able to get the scoop of what's going on with Vibing with E, everything involving Vibing with E, please don't hesitate to click the link tree in my bio, whichever way you listen or watch me. The link tree is connected. All you have to do is click the link tree, And once you click the Linktree link, you'll see an icon at the bottom that says sign up for weekly newsletters. Once you see the weekly newsletters icon, tap on it, insert your email. And once you insert your email, I will be able to get the notifications on my phone. The bell will hit for me, I think. Something like that. Well, the bell will go off. I will see it. Once I see it, you guys will be added on to the next newsletters to come. And then you'll be able to see everything before Vibing with E or Vibing Out with Guests, anything drops, such as little details, whatever. Okay. And as always, too, every newsletter goes out 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So like 2 hours before Vibing with E comes out. Okay. So everything impacting the week, whatever, coming up, whatever, everything is in the newsletter. Okay. So guys, we are still in the theme of walking in purpose, walking in our purpose, becoming who we were called to be in this second quarter we're focused on now. We learned everything, we got the basics. Now we need to put it in work. The blueprint is here. Now we need to put it in work type of action. So this right here now, as we are walking in purpose, becoming who you were called to be, this is part 2 because this is the second week of the month. And as you can see by the title, y'all, you're gonna see why is this important and why you guys need to listen. So as we continue our theme, walking in purpose, becoming who we were called to be, this week reminder is simple but powerful. Stop shrinking to fit old spaces. Like as you see for the Bible today, that's our Bible today. We're going to talk about growth doesn't change, purpose strengthens you, it doesn't shrink you, and elevation requires room to grow. You gotta elevate. You gotta elevate. Whatever Drake was saying, but he just kept saying elevate. And I was like, okay, Drake, I feel you. So you gotta do like that. You were not created to remain the same forever. That's one thing. First and foremost, if you're new here, my favorite word to say to let my listeners know, whatever, is stagnant. You don't want to stay stagnant. You want to move on up. You're not going to be the same forever. When you get to a certain point in your life, especially age and chapters, your taste change, your demeanor change, what you used to do change, your green flags, red, everything changed. It doesn't stay forever. Only thing that's staying forever probably is your government name. Maybe, if y'all don't change, whatever. But certain stuff you outgrow, and that's okay. And that's why it's important for you guys to also understand that. Why it's important for you to not try to go back to old habits and old spaces just to have people, get validation from people just to feel comfortable. No, this year is all about you. We pop it out when we want to pop out. We taking control of things that matters to us, that's needed to be, stepping on boundaries, put foot on necks and all that type of mess, and we're being selfish. We're being selfish to things that we took for granted. And as we are in this theme of walking in our purpose, becoming who we are, with impact the title, stop shrinking to fit in old spaces, we have to now understand that as we are moving on up, because this year is full of, this year's whole vibe of the rest of the year is focused on you. We got to focus on things that matters for you. And one thing that I feel as though personally, and maybe you guys understand too, is that when we start leveling up, sometimes we feel like we got to go backwards with impacting, shrinking ourselves to fit back in them old spaces because it was the good times. However, sometimes, my friend, we got to stop that. As we're elevating and leveling up, sometimes we have to pump the brakes, go back and rethink, like, why I want to move back if I'm moving forward. And I have been manifesting and praying for this. So it's one of those conversations right here, right now, that's going to really have a lot of eye-opening, and have people like, a lot of oh moments. And that's okay, because it's needed. Like I said, we are in this journey all together. We're walking in our purpose, becoming who we are called to be. And one thing we need to know too for a fact is, once we're in this new space, we need to stop shrinking ourselves to fit in old spaces that were not for us. We were begging and pleading and praying and manifesting to get out these spaces. So from here on out, y'all, before I get deeper into it, let's right here stop dwelling on the past. Anything that happened in the past, keep in the past. Kiss on it, love it, thank you for it. We're gonna thank them, thank whatever, him, they, she, whatever. If what happened in the past, we're not going to shrink ourselves to go back. Yes, it helped us, yes, but that doesn't define what we're on now. This whole new chapter, new path we're on now. It's a part of it, yes, but It's not a part of this time. We're in the present. Let's enjoy the present so we can get to the future. If we keep dwelling on the past, you're not going to enjoy what's in front of you, and you're going to miss a lot of opportunities and things of that nature. Okay? So, like I said too, not every, like I mentioned within space, we have to grow. Not all spaces are for us. It's not for us. It's not for us. Certain things are not for us no more. But purpose requires courage, and the courage to honor your growth even when others don't fully see it yet. If they don't, like, it's so funny to my dad say, they don't hear you now, they're going to hear you later. And I'm going to say this, if they don't see you now, my friend, they're going to see you later. Trust me, all them old flames and all the people that used to come in your DM or family members and all that used to play on you, and they didn't see your dream and all that stuff. They didn't see your potential. But now when they see you, you get a little notice and stuff or whatever. Or you've been, sitting back in a cut or whatever, or they run into you. That's when now they like, oh, I got to hook up with her. I got to see what's up with him. Nah, baby, you had your chance. Now you got to watch me from the outside now, because you can't come in now. It's gone. Okay? So for this week's challenge, y'all, I want you guys to ask yourself, where am I shrinking instead of growing? Where am I shrinking at instead of growing? Like, what area of my life am I shrinking in and I'm not growing in, and how can I fix that? So choose one area this week where you can show up fully without, minimizing, minimizing your voice, like not taking advantage of it. Where your growth or your progress, whether it's speaking confidence, setting boundaries, stepping into a new opportunity, or allowing yourself to evolve. Commit to honoring your growth. So this week, we're, as we focus on stop shrinking to fit in old spaces, we got to understand, how can I fix that? What's the first step? Speaking good, feeling confident, setting them boundaries, whatever you got to do it now, my friend. Because growth deserves space. You deserve to have space in this growth. As well as purpose requires explanations. It doesn't require explanation. I want to say purpose requires for you to explore, and it also requires you to expand. Purpose requires expansion, exploring, and also giving yourself that chance to live in that moment. Okay? So yes, y'all, before we deep dive into it as well, Vibing Out with Guest bookings are still open. Please, if you're wanting to, a friend, tell a friend, all those good things, please take the chance, take that risk. Come on, Vibing Out with Guests. We could do it on Zoom or in person, so you can tell your story. Yes, I know it is very scary to sit in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, and have people, you don't even know how many people probably listen to my podcast, y'all. If I tell y'all gonna be like, excuse me? I'm gonna give y'all a little teaser. The first vibe of this month that we talked about, right? Y'all, less than 24 hours, we had 881 views on Instagram. I said, oh, okay. I said, thank y'all. Thank you. I said, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. Because that goes to show y'all care. Not even care, but y'all hearing the message. And I'm going to keep on giving y'all that raw and uncut energy that y'all need, because that's what I am. That's who I am. That's what I'm going to give. But it also shows that too, people are seeing it. Even if they don't see it now, they're going to see it later. But nevertheless, y'all, I get it. It's the scariest thing ever, because I'm not going to lie to me being a podcaster, I want to get on somebody else's podcast or platform and just be the guest one day and see how I feel. And be like, dang, this is probably how my guests feel when I'm sitting there with them. But no, you guys, if you watch Vibing Out with Guest Appearance, if you haven't, I'm going to give you a little sneak. So in the beginning, y'all, I didn't have no questions. We just did it based off the topics. And then I was like, okay, sometimes the guests that would come on there, they wouldn't have certain topics to talk about, because we would have general conversations, period. Granted, the conversations that we have with the guests, the guests, multiple people, it's genuine conversation. We're sitting there having a ball. Like for this series, we're having, like, Reviving with E is a series of me talking to y'all, but we're not in the same room, But with Vibing with Guests, we're sitting in the room, we're vibing out with each other. And I had developed at times questions, and sometimes we already had answered the questions. So now, y'all, when you guys decide, or whoever decides to come on vibing out with guests, I will probably be still going based off the topic so we can get a general flow, and I might still have the questions too on hand just in case if I want to dig a little deeper to know a little bit more. I guess that's what journalists does, y'all, not gonna lie. Another little fun fact about me: I wanted to be a journalist, low key, but I couldn't major in journalism and do social work because they are two very like hardcore courses. I'm not gonna say they're hard, but hardcore meaning like the material and the load. And I would have to have, I believe, an internship too with journalism as well, and that wouldn't have worked because having an internship, with social work with Baltimore City Public Schools, and then trying to find journalism probably like with the news or something, it would have not worked. But I can probably always go back and get a degree in journalism. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know. But that's a little fun fact I want to throw out there. But either way I go, tell a friend, or you come on, vibe out with me. Let's vibe out together. Let me vibe out with you. Let's talk about anything and everything because this is a safe space. Your story is important. Your vibes are most definitely welcome. And we're going to have a good time. And I love when I add the little joke. Well, it's not a joke, but the little piece on there like, don't worry, you get fed. Y'all see me drink water because I can't eat on the mic. That's a little crazy, but for me, I need to stay hydrated. That's all. Sometimes my guests be like, you got some chips or something. I'm like, oh, here you go. Let's have a good time. Because you're here at my place, and I want to make you feel welcome as well. Because you're taking probably one of the most biggest steps ever in your life to sit in front of a camera and a microphone with someone that has a platform, and you are so promoting your platform as well to speak on topics and stuff like that. So please, y'all, feel free to click the links in the link tree. Anything that says vibing out with guests agreements in the vibing out with guests information form, I believe it says, and the calendar form. Once you do all those things, we can get it started. We can get it cracking. Okay. All right. So the quote of the week / today is growth outgrows places that comfort once built. Okay. And as always, y'all, please follow the podcast page on Instagram at vibing.with.e and use the hashtag vibingwithe to share how you're creating spaces for growth this week instead of, shrinking yourself to fit those old habits. Okay. So now let's get into it. Vibing with E weekly vibe check, where meaningful conversations meet growth and real life connections. So today on this lovely Wednesday, April 8th, 2026, we have reached 150 episodes. How they do it, clock it. Y'all, I'm still learning, so I feel so old. Clock it, okay? So we have made it to 150 episodes, and the vibe of the day is stop shrinking to fit old spaces. So this week's episode continues our purpose journey by exploring what happens when your growth no longer fits in old environments. Many people struggle with feeling guilty about changing, evolving, or wanting more, but growth naturally creates distance from what no longer aligns with you. Okay, so in this episode, guys, we will cover recognizing when you outgrow environments or relationships. We're human. Like I said, it gets to a point in our life sometimes, like our taste change, our demeanor change, certain seats we can't sit in no more, certain people we don't have that type of vibe with no more, and it's no love lost, it's just we're not there no more. Understanding why shrinking limits growth. If we keep shrinking ourselves, we won't be able to see the growth of what we have in front of us. Letting go of guilt connects to personal evaluations, elevations, all those things, y'all, because I'm trying to put them together and I don't want to give it all out, and I'm like, let me stick to what I'm saying. As well as creating spaces for healthier environments, as well as lastly, trusting your growth even when it feels uncomfortable. My favorite thing to say is sometimes when it gets uncomfortable, you got to find a way to get comfortable. It is not going to happen overnight. You got to get your feet wet first to feel it and see if it's for you. And if it's not, then take your butt right back out and, just, pay patty cake in the corner until you get it right. But don't wait till you're in a good mood to do these things. To step into that little vibe, step into what you want to do. Okay, so this episode is your reminder that growth requires space and purpose requires courage. So I'm glad you guys are tuned in for a powerful and reflective conversation designed to help you honor your growth and embrace expansions. So let's get into it, y'all. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited because this episode right here, y'all, I said I'm gonna get so cranked on this because I'm even dealing with this. I'm dealing with this myself. Like, I'm honestly dealing with this myself, with having to understand that when you get to the top, my friends, when you get to the top, my friend, it does get lonely. It gets real lonely. And sometimes you have to understand that some spaces are not for you no more. So don't shrink yourself trying to fit in with, be like the cool kids when you're not a cool kid with them no more. You're probably a cool kid with others or alone. Okay? Don't shoot the messenger. That's how I feel, personally. Okay, so guys, before we get into it, as always, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing my voice or watching me on YouTube. If you're on the go, moving around, whatever the case may be, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing and seeing me. Once again, turn me up on your PCs, your speakers, your phones, your car radios, Alexas, Google Dots, all that good stuff, because as always, every vibe of the day is something special. Okay, so guys, we finna get crunked in here for real, because this right here is really going to show a lot of my raw and uncut side. Because like I said, not only am I helping you guys step into this chapter for yourself as becoming the next level you and all the things you want to do, I'm also stepping in it too. So not only am I feel like being a storyteller, a life coach and all that, but I'm also following, you got to practice what you preach. And I'm practicing what I'm preaching real bad this year because it's needed. It's like sometimes we get caught up in things that we don't really listen to ourselves. But that's okay. That's all right, because we live and we learn, and we're going to get this together. We're going to do this like Brutus together. Okay, so let's tap in. So once again, we have reached 100. We have reached 150 episodes, and today's vibe of the day is stop shrinking to fit old spaces. Okay. Alrighty, my friends, so let's get into it. If you're new here, we break down every vibe of the day with saying the vibe of the day again, the definitions, the 5 W's, say the quote of the day / the week again, and so now you can understand why is this important, how this relate. And then we do a thank you for tapping in little note, and then I go about my business. And I go about my business, and you guys go about and you and you girls and guys go about y'all's too, okay? Okay, so let's get into it. So as we are about to deep dive into this, y'all seen the title. I repeated it probably 3, 4, 5 times to y'all already. What does stop shrinking to fit in old spaces really mean to you? Take a little moment to think about it, because I'm going to tell y'all what it means to me. Like I said, when you get to the top, when you get to certain places in your life, you're becoming a different or a better version of you. You see that at times those spaces that you used to fit in is not for you. But you feel like too, once you're up the top, you feel like you're leaving your people behind. But sometimes you have to really think about, were they for me or is this for me? Because sometimes we feel like when we get to the top, we have to go back to those situations that we were in. No, don't shrink yourself to be back in a situation that you were manifesting and praying and hoping to get out of. That's what the definition for me is. Like, I'm not turning back. Ain't no turning back on this. No turning back at all. Once it's done, it's done. I don't want to do it because sometimes we don't want to rely and rewind all those times in our life. Trust me, granted, I have some times, y'all, I might talk about on here on this episode, within this episode, about I felt myself shrinking myself to get back to fit in old spaces with people in my life, mainly within relationship wise, I'm gonna say. You know, sometimes when you dwell on the past with relationships, not even just romantic relationships, y'all, it's like friendships and family relationships. But then I had to remember, I didn't like how this played out with him or her or them. So I was manifesting and praying for this to get out. You know, like Meek Mill said, he used to pray for times like this, you know, around like this, all that, you know, dreams and nightmares type of situation I had. And I had to get out that nightmare to see my dream. You know, and this, if you're going through this or you know someone going through this too, I get it. This is a safe space, my friend. We get it. And we're going to work through this. It's going to be all right. Trust me, we go through it. We're human. Shit is in our DNA. We all go through stuff. We do. But sometimes you never know who may be going through the same thing you did. Because some people always jump to conclusions and judgment. No, like, even with my students, I be like, yeah, I went through some stuff y'all went through too when y'all were younger. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to give you the tools to hopefully teach you how to prepare yourself when these things happen. So yeah, let's get into it. So now let's dive deep into what's the meaning of it. What does stop shrinking to fit old spaces really mean? Stop shrinking to fit old spaces meaning realizing when you have grown beyond environments, relationships, habits, or mindsets that once felt comfortable but no longer support your growth. Period. Like I said, like, your taste change, your demeanor change. If it doesn't impact with what you have going on now, it's not for you no more. You like realize this is beyond me. Not trying to say like it's you better than that, but sometimes, you know, it's beyond it. Like not Roddy Rag, shoot, y'all, putting my city out there. Like Rod Wave said, you know, rags to riches. Sometimes, like, you know, you don't want to stay in the trenches all the time. You don't want to stay in these certain parts of the time. Like, you don't want to be in these type of situations and be around these people no more. And it's not trying to say like you excuse my French, y'all, shitting on them, but you want to evolve. You don't want to be stagnant no more. You want to get out of this. And everyone has the right to feel how they feel. They want to stay somewhere or they want to get out of it. It's all on how you want to do it. It's all on how you feel like it's going to progress in your life without you having to feel like you have to fit in old spaces, and that's impacting you to shrink yourself. But this is the time where I'm helping you to understand that to refrain yourself from stop trying to shrink yourself to fit in these old spaces because of people and things you left behind that you felt like you left behind, and they make you feel guilty about it. So shrinking happens when people minimize their voice, talents, confidence, or identity just to remain accepted in spaces that no longer align with them, with who they are becoming, So I'm gonna say it again, y'all. Shrinking happens when people minimize their voice, talents, confidence, or identity just to be accepted in spaces that no longer align with who they are becoming no more. Like I said, and most of the time with that, y'all, people will try to guilt trip you so bad and make you feel like you really, once again, excuse my French, y'all, shit on them. But if you have a voice, use that voice. You got a talent and someone sees the good in you and stuff and is legit, you know, everything's right, paperwork and all that stuff is right. Reach for the excuse me my French, y'all, reach for the motherfucking stars and don't let nothing or no one try to tear you down. Because when you have people in your life that don't support you, they're right there are trying to stop you from growing. They're the ones that are shrinking you. You got to be around people that's not trying to shrink you. You gotta be around people that's going to say, you know what, my friend, sis, bro, look, you can't shrink yourself to go back in them places that once hurted you so bad that you were telling me, you know, pleading on my couch not to be, you know, rude to you, but saying had to remind you that like, remember, we had this conversation and we had this conversation. I helped you find the resources to help you understand that this ain't for you no more. It's a part of you, but this ain't a part of your new story no more. It's like where you from. A lot of people stay where they're from, but they don't stay in that same hood. They don't stay on that side of town. You know, like in Baltimore, you got northeast, the northwest, west, east, south, all that. And I know some people that's from my city, they doing real good for themselves. Some of them don't stay here. Some come back and forth. You know, some stay here or they probably like in the county or like whatever type of part of the city, you know. But it gets to a point. And also, too, when you're getting placed in your life, it's okay to be alone because it gets lonely up the top. And sometimes you got to be your own best friend and have to understand that that space that once, excuse my French, fucked me up, I can't go back there no more. So within this episode is going to also help you understand that don't go back. Stop looking back, go forward. Because when you keep going back, that's you shrinking yourself. When you're going forward, you're stop shrinking yourself to fit in those old spaces again. Because growth naturally changes you. It changes you. It humbles you. It helps you. And it impacts you in so many ways that you never thought you had in your life. I ain't gonna lie. Change, excuse my French again, y'all, shit. It helped me. It helped me understand that I had to change my ways because I'm not the same girl that I was when I was 14, 15 years old. I'm 20 something years old. I'm not that same E no more. I'm not that same Erica no more. I'm not the same no more. That growth helped change me. Granted, yes, those times had, you know, sometimes you look back, it comes in your, creeps up in your dreams and stuff, or people creep up in the past, kind of future, try to talk about it, and you be like, damn, I'm not that same girl no more. I'm not the same guy. Like, I'm not that person no more. I'm not them people, you know, no more. Like, you gotta stop that. But it helps you understand that you really grown. And you're not shrinking yourself to go back to those places to fit with them people because they feel like you said F them. No! I leveled up when I got my shit together. Excuse me. Like you should be doing too. Because sometimes you get tired of the same old, excuse my French, y'all, the same old shit. You get tired of it. I know I do. Certain stuff I get tired of. My taste changed. My demeanor changed. The way I handle things, it changed. Like, I can tell y'all right here, right now, my growth changed a lot within this podcast. Regardless, like I said, they not going to hear me now. They going to hear me later. How I'm talking, how I'm doing my thing, and how I want it, they're going to see it. But I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about me keep going forward so I don't have to go back to some old spaces with them people or those old thoughts and saying, dang, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Nah, we ain't doing that no more. I'm not doing that no more. We're moving forward because we're in this time zone of we're becoming who we were sent to be called for, who we have been manifesting and praying for. Okay? Growth naturally changes you and it humbles you in the most way possible because as you elevate, your needs and your goals shift. It's not the same. Long-term, short-term goals, they change. Everything changes. However, some people continue to try to fit into places that were designed for an earlier version for themselves. Granted, you know, like it helped, you know, certain stuff help you, like with jobs. You got to start from the bottom to get to where you want to go at the top within your career rise. I can't keep going back. I could go to say like I work in the school, I'm the social worker, yeah, but now I'm probably your boss. I'll probably say, shoot, let me be your boss. But I ain't going, you know, sometimes I can't go back to that position. You know, we gotta change it in the environment. Shrinking to stay comfortable may feel easier in the moment, but it limits process, confidence, and progress. Going back to shrinking, and I say like this, shrinking and being stagnant goes hand in hand. Because stagnant is staying still. You know, once you comfortable in this place, in this environment with these people, you don't want nothing. You don't want to be dealt with nothing or no one new. You don't want nothing new. You don't want no new taste, no new smell, no new luxury, no new nothing. You comfortable with this. You comfortable with the same, excuse my French again, the same old shit, just a different day. No, my friend, you got to stop shrinking yourself right here, right now. Yes, it's good. It's lovely, you know, for the moment. Everything's for the moment. It's not going to last long. It's for the moment. Sometimes you got to live in the moment. But you got to realize, too, if I keep staying here, what is the benefit I'm getting from this? What is the benefit I'm getting from him, her, them, they, this? For me, what am I getting? I'm shrinking myself. And everybody evolving. Like, they making me the freaking laugh and stop. No, hell no, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. We're not going to do that. Because once we understand that we stop the habit of shrinking, it means we're going to honor our growth. So once we stop, you know, we stop it stagnant, we're stepping out, we're popping out. This is where we are honoring our growth. Even when it requires change. With everything, because growth requires change. Granted, it requires change. It's not going to just, you can't grow and stay the same. No, you gotta see the new results, the compare and contrast. It's like when you lose weight. Like, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Shoot, another fun fact. When I was in high school, I lost weight. Started college, nice slim frame. Now I'm plus size. I'm real slimmy, but a little bit curve. I'm curvy. Shoot, I seen the results, but my growth I still grown. My weight a little different. I wanted to get a little meat on me, but not too much. But it happens. It happens. Growth requires change. It's for the better or for the worse. You got to see how you want it to play out for yourself, because you are in control of how this goes. You feel me? So don't feel like somebody got to hold your hand. No, people like me are here to help you. I'm gonna hold your hand real close when I say this, though, my friend. As of today, I don't want you keep thinking about what he or she them did or how this helped you in the long run with them old spaces. No, we want to sit at a table with people that are just like us. We want to sit at a table with them ballers. You want to be a baller? I sit at a table with the ballers. I want to sit at a table with the flyers, the ballers, the shiners, and their career wise. Oh, she balling, he's shining. They really them. I want to sit with them. Shoot, even with this podcast world, I want to sit with the podcasters that's really out here making it. I want to sit in these spaces. I don't want to keep sitting in these old spaces. Not for me no more. Because it's like two in friend groups. When you change, sometimes the friend group changes on a different level. Everyone's changing for the better. And some ain't changing at all. It's like, look, somebody got to grow up. Somebody got to be the adult here. Somebody got to be the leader. It gets to a point. It gets to a point where, like, damn, who gonna be the adult here? So stop the habit of shrinking, meanings honoring your growth, even when requires change. It means understanding that outgrowing people, spaces, and patterns is not betrayal. Let me say it again. It means understanding that outgrowing people, spaces, and patterns is not betrayal. It's not. It is development. It's development because you're elevating. You're elevating. True growth requires space to expand, not pressure to stay small. Can I preach for you now? Y'all ready for the rest of the word? Now let's get into it. So now y'all know the definition of why this is what it is. Why does stop shrinking to fit in old spaces important? Well, let me tell you too. And you better not think you're the bad guy for you having to take a step back and move away from people. Hell no. Like I said, it's not betrayal. It's what's for you, my friend. And if your reasons they understand, then they understand. And if they don't, they seasonal. And sometimes seasonal people, like I say too, become your reasons. You live and you learn as you grow. Growth requires change. Purpose requires elevation. And within this, you want a revolution of all this. So let's get the preaching on it. Now let's get real deep into this, okay? So who's impacted? Who needs this message the most? Who needs this message the most to understand that, my friend? I'm going to hold your hand real tight when I say this. Stop shrinking yourself to fit in them old spaces, because them spaces are not for you no more. We been there, we done that, my friend. So if you feel like you have been betraying your hood, the people you love, and all those things, friend, I'm holding your hand real tight when I say this. You're not. You're at this point in your life right now, things change. You're at this point in your life where you're elevating. You're at this point in your life with, yes, you're struggling to embrace it. But don't feel like you wasted time or you made a bad decision. No, you were tired of feeling stagnant. Shrinking equals stagnant. You were staying still, but keep going down. No. So now that you're up here, my friend, don't think about going back. Because like I said, we had those moments in our life where we have been manifesting and praying and having conversations with people that they couldn't do this no more. So we had to leave it alone. We had to stop crying and crying. We had to do something. You had to do something for you. Like I had to do something for me. I had to let some people go. Love you from a distance. Kiss, kiss, chef kiss, all that, my friend. But we're not there no more. And that's okay. So don't shrink yourself to fit in old habits, old spaces with people because you leveled up and they feel like, oh, you don't care about us no more? No. Worry about you. Let the naysayers go and do what naysayers do. Okay? This is for my friends that are having a hard time of understanding that you're not betraying the hood or nothing like that. No. You're doing for you. Yes, you still a part of the hood. Shoot, you still a part of North, East. You still a part of West, South, Baltimore, Southwest. You still a part. You still a part of that. But that's not your whole demeanor. Okay? So this message is for individuals who feel themselves changing but struggling to fully embrace their growth. My friend, if you're out there on this journey, this growth and healing journey, I applaud you. I love you from a distance. I love you from a distance. I want you to know that because it takes a lot out of a person to really say, you know what, I'm gonna get up and change. I'm tired of this no more. I don't want to be in this pain no more. I want to stop this. I don't want to keep having to think about these things and having to keep being around people that don't respect me, all those things like that. If you are on this journey of changing, but you're struggling to fully embrace the growth, first and foremost, I want you to say to yourself, you did the hardest thing ever is admitting to the problem. And now, yes, it's going to hurt, but you got to think, do you want to keep going through this stuff? You want to keep crying and keep going through this stuff? Or do you want to change it, pat it like goodbye and then move about your business, It speaks to those who feel tense between who they're becoming and the environment that they're currently, in. Trust me, I get it. Being a girl from the city, it is not easy. But I gotta keep doing what I gotta do for me. Regardless if they don't hear me now or see me now. At least you can wish me well. That's all you can do. See ya. As well as too many people feel pressure to remain the same so others feel comfortable even when growth is calling them forward. Like I said, that people pleasing. Let's talk about a little bit like family and friend group wise. You know who the strongest ones is on your family and your friends. And this message is for you, my friend, or a friend that's going through this. The strongest family members, friends, co-workers, all that. My friend, I want you to get up, have that mirror conversation for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 minutes to an hour with yourself and say, what matters most? Me or these people? What am I doing for me? Yes, I got a heart of gold. Thank you. But am I treating myself the way I'm treating others with all this respect and stuff? Do I want to remain in the same position because others feel comfortable with me? When I feel miserable on the inside, but on the outside, I'm just, I'm smiling and, I'm sipping on my water or whatever. I was going to say Jack, y'all. Sipping on whatever. Like it's nothing, but in the inside, I'm so torn in between excuse my French, y'all, the goddamn two of what the fuck I want to do. No, my friend, when growth is calling, take that call forward. When you had enough of being around the same old, excuse my French again, like Ace Hood said, same old shit, just a different day, and growth is knocking on the door for you like, hey, how are ya? Hey, can we have a talk? Can we come outside? Take it. Because once you do that, you understand that this ain't for you no more. And all that, trying to fit in the old spaces, we stopping that right now. And even if you are in this growth era of your life, don't shrink to fit back in them old spaces. We're stopping that SHIT now. We're stopping that now. Nothing and no one's going to make you go back to them old ways you had. It's like a recovery. When you leave rehab and you've been clean and all this stuff for years, why would you want to go back to them darkest times? Because that time was temporary. Them feelings, was temporary. That fixing all that was temporary. When growth calls, it requires to change. And purpose requires elevation. I want to elevate. I want to be in my evolving stage. I don't want to be in that stage where, yes, at one point in time it helped me, but it was temporary. The motivation is temporary. Discipline requires me to keep going. The goal of this. What's the goal if I'm on the run? I'm on my run of doing what I want to do, but then I try to go back into these spaces with people that I was begging and praying and manifesting to get away from for. Why did I waste my time? And why did I do that? You gotta think. Discipline requires the purpose of what I'm doing. Motivation is temporary. If I go back, and if you go back to them places and spaces that raised you hell, what was the purpose of you leveling up, my friend? What was it? Because it is especially helpful for people who feel misunderstood when they begin setting boundaries, speaking up, or pursuing new opportunities. Don't let nothing or no one try to dictate you on what you're doing for your life, my friend, because you're doing what's necessary and what's meant for you. People are going to look at you like, damn, you changing on us? You think you better than us? No, I'm doing for what's better for myself. I need to focus on everything impacting myself because, yes, on the outside, I look like I'm fine and dandy, but on the inside, I'm torn between excuse my French, torn between the goddamn motherfucking two on what am I going to do with my life? What am I doing here? Why am I still here? Why? Like, and then it's like, when I'm down and out, where were you? Where were y'all? Y'all didn't show me no love. So now I'm on my growth journey, my healing, spiritual, all that journey. I can't shrink to fit in these old spaces with you, my friend. I stopped that. Or I'm willing to stop that now. And if you feel the same way, my friend, stop that now. Don't let these people try to dictate you and try to shrink you back. Hell no. No. Because those who feel guilty about change, evolving, or stepping into new spaces often y'all need this the most. And I'm here to give y'all this message. You here. We need it. We are here together. We're sitting at the dinner tables together, my friend, and we're holding each other's hands like we're praying and bowing our heads and listening because it's needed. It's needed. Because this message I'm giving y'all today too, it also supports individuals who feel drained or limited or unfulfilled in environments that once felt safe but feels restrictive. Now let me tell you something. I can speak on this part too. I'm from the city. I'm from Baltimore City. Born and raised. It gets to a point. Sometimes we feel drained because, if y'all know, they try to say Baltimore's a bad city. Not so much. Situations happen. Yes, it does. But it drains you because when you step into the other side of the world, so it's like the county or the deeper parts of the city, and you don't look like the rest of the population, that's where it gets worse. So let me give y'all a real good example. I'm drained right now from freaking grad school. I'm almost done. I got 4 weeks till classes is wrapping up. But it's draining as hell when you transfer from an HBCU to a PWI. You are around people that don't look nothing like you and don't have the same values as you. Yeah, we're here for the same purpose, to get this degree and get the certifications we needed for this position. But we can't relate on these situations. Limits. It's limitations on certain stuff that I could take and what y'all can take too, with the package going to school. And it being in, like I said, unfulfilled environments. I wouldn't say it's unfulfilled. No, it's just unfulfilled when you're around people that don't look like you. So it's hard for you to connect with the other peers because they're going to say, I don't know what that means, or try to say something crazy, But anyone who feels like they're holding themselves back to maintain acceptance, you can benefit from this, because from understanding that growth requires expansions. Growth requires expansion. You need to expand your horizon. Shoot, I'm expanding my horizon. You know, sometimes I couldn't stay at my HBCU. Love my HBCU down, wear Morgan all day long. But certain areas of my life, I couldn't stay there no more. I go back and visit, yeah. Say what's up. It's like family. Some families, you know, I go and say what's up, but I can't kick it with you no more. We can't do what we used to do. Same thing, relationships and people. What we used to do in the past, it was good. We can reminisce on it, but I ain't shrinking myself to fit old habits. When I'm in this space in my life where I'm elevating, growing, and this is for you, my friend. This message is for you. With everything I said, moral of the story is, once you outgrow stuff and outgrow people, you know who you are and you know what's for you and what's not for you. Your demeanor change, your taste change, all that change, my friend. And that's okay, because you're required to have the change. Growth requires change. Preparation requires elevation for you to elevate. Okay? Now calm it down a little bit, y'all. I ain't drink no water. My water bottle's, hold on, let me take a sip. I was ready to say, y'all, because my throat getting a little dry, so I gotta slow down on y'all for a minute. I know y'all probably like, ooh, I hear the table shaking, all that shaking. Yes, y'all, because this is hardcore, and I've dealt with it, and I know y'all probably dealing with it, or you know a friend or whatever that's going through this right now. As we're stepping in to this new chapter of our life, becoming who we were called to be. Sometimes we feel ourselves tiptoeing back to places that we once was, you know, wanting to get out of, but we feel like by us evolving and elevating, it feel like we were being selfish, but we weren't. That makes sense. So what's the benefit? What happens when you stop shrinking? First and foremost, a lot of things reduce in your life. The anxiety, the depression, feeling like less of a person, and all those things. You're on another level. You're on a new level. Like A$AP Ferg said, I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level right now because, you know, like I said too, it gets lonely at the top, but sometimes you have to be at the top alone to understand what's going on and how can you handle it. Like, how do you want it? How do you feel as you coming up in this environment with these new things and new routine for you? So when you stop shrinking, you begin to show up as yourself, your fullest self. Like I said, you know, we stop being half. We're whole now. Where our confidence increased because you no longer feel pressure to hide your growth or minimize your progress. That also impacts with popping out when you want to, being selfish when it's needed, and most definitely taking control of what matters in your life. Instead of feeling limited, you feel empowered to explore new opportunities and environments that aligns with your evolving identity. My friend, once you get that new taste of what they say, you've been explored to the finer things in life now, your demeanor change, your taste change, everything change, and all the anxiety and all that stuff reduces. You're in a space where, ooh, I feel better, I feel the confidence, I got a new attitude, I got a new vibe to myself, I got a new wardrobe, I got a new whole lineup for me right now. That's what happens when you stop shrinking yourself to fit back in old spaces that once was for you. You also begin to explore healthier relationships, not only with people, but with yourself. Because sometimes we can be our biggest critics. Granted, I know I am. And I'm building a better relationship with myself because now I'm loving myself even harder and more, taking care of myself even more before the next person try to do it for me. Even within your relationships with family, friends, romantic, all that too as well, you learn and you explore better relationships and healthier ones as well. When you stop shrinking, the people who support your growth becomes more visible and connections become more authentic. Granted, y'all, I went outside too during spring break, and it's still taking me time to warm up to be around people, and because that's when it comes to the extrovert and introvert vibe. I was always an extrovert coming up in high school. I was extrovert but introvert. You know, people knew of me, but I was always like, could have cut. You don't know too much. Yeah, you know me of work ethics, things like that. But you don't know me for being crazy, wild, out of control. You know? So once you stop shrinking yourself, your taste, the demeanor change, and you feel better. Your growth become more visible. Like I can reach it. I turn my nightmares into a dream. I'm tired of all those bad things, because bad times don't last forever. After every storm there's a rainbow. And I'm getting to them good times. You're getting to them good times. Okay, my friend? This creates spaces for encouragement, collaboration, and shared progress. This is why I love what I do, because not only do I feel comfortable with speaking on these things, but it also can help someone that I probably don't even know from a can of paint. It's helping me to help them be able to be comfortable to step in these rooms with people, even if people don't even look their way. Like I mentioned about a couple weeks ago, when I step into a room with a whole bunch of social workers, principals, vice principal, assistant principals, all that stuff, and I'm the intern. I'm in the process of getting everything at a young age, and they look at that one lady, y'all, was looking down at me like I stepped on her. She was something like, why are you here? You're not but I'm here though. I'm here, and I was recognized. That's all that matters. Okay? Because most importantly as well, y'all, when y'all stop shrinking the habits, when you stop the habit of shrinking, you create more freedom to yourself, for yourself. When you stop trying to go back to the old habits, you're creating so much freedom for yourself. It's like, dang, what should I do now? What hobby should I get into? What should I do? Knit, paint, sew? What should I do for myself? You permit yourself to evolve without guilt, without feeling guilty about it. You don't feel guilty about what are you doing. You are allowing yourself to grow big time. You're allowing yourself to pursue purpose with consistency, seeking approval for yourself and not from others, as well as growth becomes something you honor instead of something you hide. That's one thing, y'all, when we're on our journey, we hide our growth. We try to hide it. We try to, like, I don't want it. No, don't hide it. Absorb it. Love on it. Take pride of it. Kiss it. Rub on it. Love it, girl. Love it, my friend. Love it, boy. Like, love it. Love it. Because no one knows how hard it was for you to get to this level in your life. No one knows how hard it was for you to stop going back to that. Ooh, hold on, y'all. Let me think on this one. No one knows how hard it was for you to get out of that toxic situation with those delusional thoughts. And now you're in this space where I'm not going back to the Lulu. I'm not going back to the Lulu town. Only Lulu I'm going to is Lululemon. Huh. Okay, no, we ain't doing no toxic shit no more. I'm on a new level. We're on a new level. I've been stopped shrinking to fit in the old spaces with people. I knew it wasn't for me when him or she told me or looking at me like I'm something. No, I'm not changing, boo. I changed for the better. I'm the same girl, you know, like they say, I'm the same person from the hood, but I'm not that same person that was in that hood. Like, I'm not the same girl that I was when I was in high school. I look the same, facial, but other parts are not. My demeanor changed, my mindset changed, my taste changed, and most importantly, how I feel about myself and how I control things that people have changed. How I control the thoughts that people may have for me has changed. When I say control people, the narrative, you're not finna make me as a joke. You're not finna have me as the laughing stock. I seen something too. It's like sometimes you gotta get the bully. You gotta point the bully out. All them bullies and stuff, point them out. Because they probably looking at you, still bullying you to this day, but not telling you to your face. And that goes to show to you still doing something. Even at your job, you got work bullies. Shoot, I know. You got work, but you got people that's trying to tear you down. And that goes to show, you know, don't shrink yourself to go back to where you were. Granted, like me, sometimes I be like, okay, they trying to take it there. They need that. Like, that's what they say. That's what the kids say. You need that. And I be like, if I shrink myself to that old habit I had to fit in to this ratchet mess, what am I leading? I'm not no role model. So you gotta think, kind of cut it out. I'm leveling on my growth louder than ever because no one knows how hard it was for me to get to this place. but me. Okay? So when someone recognizes that they're shrinking, when they're shrinking to fit old spaces, when you recognize that you feel like you're stepping back into them old spaces, it may be helpful to reflect on when you feel the need to minimize your achievements to avoid making others uncomfortable. That's when people feel like, oh, you think you the SHIT, you think you bragging, and they think you want bragging rights. No. I don't care how big or small that achievement is, my friend. You better talk about it. You better talk about it. And if you don't, sometimes you don't need an audience. That's me. I learned sometimes you don't need a crowd no more. I don't need you to applaud for me. Don't hold your applause for me. Don't hold your applause for me like Wale said. You ain't gotta hold your applause for me. Don't do it. Especially if it's not genuine. And I'm not trying to be another word too, they say braggadocious. Nah. Because when you've been through so much and when you finally winning, celebrate it, regardless how big or small it is. And shout out to my therapist, y'all. She has helped me understand too that even when you having a bad day, still find the win in it, even if it's so small. I could be having a real bad day, but the win recently I was having a real bad day, but the win I had in that day was I advocated for how I felt. I ain't shrinking to that small space of dogging and cussing everybody out. No, I said this is the win of the day for me is being able to advocate on a situation that I felt that hurted me, and I was able to speak my mind onto it, and I felt good, and I did a damn good job on it. Okay? So when you hesitant to share your goals because others may not understand, that's when you know right there some people are not meant to everyone's not meant to be to understand what you got going on. That's fine. But let them know. When you feel pressure to stay the same even though you know you have grown, don't you ever, baby, don't you ever get too comfortable with letting people talk over top of you. Because that right there, when you feel pressure breaks pipes, my friend. You better break that pipe like a bad habit. As well as when you feel strained or restrained in spaces that once felt comfortable. We all had places that felt comfortable. Like in our life, we go to school. Elementary school was comfortable. Then you got to middle school. It was uncomfortable. Then they made it comfortable throughout the middle of the semester. High school, shoot, that was real uncomfortable. But you had to make it comfortable. And even if you go to college, whatever, some spaces are not going to be the same. And don't try to live in those spaces to be comfortable, to avoid and feel better. No. As well as when you notice yourself avoiding opportunities because they require stepping into a new environment. When an opportunity knocks on your door that fits you, my friend, you better take it with a grain of salt and don't tell nobody. You pop out when it's necessary. Trust me, take it from me, y'all. I was so scared for some of the opportunities that came in my life, and I thank God himself, or whoever you believe in, or if you don't believe, whatever your situation, how you do what you do. I was like, I feel like if I didn't do it, I would have been selling myself short. And we can talk about that too, y'all, but I don't want to deep dive at that too much. But yeah, when you notice yourself avoiding opportunities because they require a new environment, there's a sign right there saying that you outgrew these people and these things are not for you no more, my friend. You outgrow stuff. Your taste changed. Like for me, y'all, I can't eat tasty cakes like that no more. I outgrow them because the taste don't taste the same no more to me. Like a big Texas, I can't eat that no more. It don't taste how rich it was when I was a little kid. You know, like I ain't trying to be bougie, but it gets to a point. I don't eat Twinkies no more. It just don't taste right to me. I might drink Kool-Aid here and there, you know, like it's to change. I can't wear this no more. It don't fit for me no more. Shoot, when I go outside, sometimes I don't want to wear no shorts. Let me put a long skirt on. You know, some things change. Sometimes I used to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And when you stay in a space, when you know you offer and bring more to the table, you need to pick yourself up in the table and move over there with them hustlers, them ballers, the fly guys, whatever you want to identify as. You want to be surrounded by those people. I call them winners. They're my other words for winners, other terms for winners. And lastly, when you feel guilty for wanting more, when you feel guilty for wanting more with growth, change, or expansions. My friend, you can go any way you want to go across the road, like Raw Wave told y'all. Again, you have the right to grow in spaces. You have the right to change and expand in any way in your life, so you don't go back. And don't you forget it. Don't shrink yourself to fit in old spaces when you know you have a calling that's for you. Take it, and don't let nobody know till you comfortable enough to let them know. Shoot, wait till you get in and probably a week or two later and be like, yeah, I'm this me. Because these moments often signs that growth is happening and the new space may be necessary. So hop on it, but be ready for it, because it's willing for you and it's ready for you. So I want you to stop selling yourself short. It's like when you stepping back, when you shrinking the old habits, you're selling yourself short. But when you stop shrinking them old habits, you're not selling yourself short. You're on a high horse now, and you're tuning out all the bullshit ass noise. Take it from me, I'm done. It gets lonely. I don't have many friends like that, and that's okay. It gets lonely because sometimes everyone's not going to understand what you're doing, and that's fine. Love them from a distance, but sometimes you get lonely, and you need to live in that moment and love on it and just say, you know what? I'm gonna make the best out of it. Okay, we almost there, y'all. We almost there. So where does shrinking show up the most in life? It shows up in all areas of our life that we sometimes don't really think about the most. Relationships, yes. Such as shrinking often shows up in relationships where growth is discouraged or misunderstood. Like I said, on the romantic level, family, friendships, professional, co-workers. Relationships where growth is discouraged or misunderstood, it helps you understand like this ain't for you no more. It helped me a lot with all those areas of relationships. Helped me understand that this person and I are not there no more, and that's okay. And when you already feel like you being already misunderstood and all those things, misunderstood. Who album was that? Somebody got an album or song that was misunderstood. I gotta look it up, y'all. It's not for you. They're not your people no more. This ain't for us no more. I love you from a distance, boo, but this ain't us no more. Go as well as deep dive into work or professional environments that limits creativity or advancement. When you know your standards and what you bring to the table is higher than what this table is trying to do to you, but they feel like they can still get you to stay there, check their uses up and leave. Such as like if you have degrees on top of degrees like me, I'm on a 3rd degree. I'm not settling myself short for something that I worked my ass off for down there. Okay, I had to basically, it would say I've been in school for 5.5 years because I did community college for 2, BSW for 2.5. So that's 4.5 years on top of the accelerated master's degree, the advanced analytics accelerated program for 9 to 11 months. So I want to say 5.5 years. I know my worth. I didn't go to school for nothing to get all these degrees and get the certifications for each degree too. You think I'm gonna let you talk to me any type of way when I am the table of what is on the resume and my skills? No. That's not shrinking myself to stay here, regardless if this environment is what I like. But sometimes it gotta go. I don't want to leave, but I gotta go right now because y'all limiting me for evolving in my creativity skills and what I know I can bring to the table. See ya. Bye bye. As well as, this hits hard, your social circle where change is viewed negatively. That right there, if your friends, your social circle, whoever, they feel like it's negativity, they weren't your friends from the get-go, my friend. They didn't really F with you like that. They didn't really rock with you like that. Because for me, if I see my friend is changing for the better because I know him or she they went through so much and we had these conversations where we've been manifesting, we helping each other. Even sometimes we had conversations that impacts with both of us willing for change. I'm going to encourage you. We're encouraging each other. I'm not looking at you no different unless you may do something I don't like. I'm gonna pull you to the side like, hold up, what you trying to talk about me right there? No. But me as a person I am, and if you can relate, y'all, in social circles where change is viewed negatively, that right there, people are not for you. And sometimes I always felt like an outcast in certain circles because like I said, I slowly became an introvert after leaving, like after the situations I went through in high school. Being an extrovert really helped me understand that I need to stay in the middle period now as I got older. As well as too your personal conversations where you hold back your thoughts or opportunities and options. I'm not doing that no more. That's why when here, y'all, I don't hold back nothing. That's why y'all probably like, dang, I remember E used to be so calm. We had a few episodes, no cussing. Now she on a rampage because sometimes, I try not, granted, in my professional spaces, I don't cuss in front of my students or clients. No. On here, this is my platform. I'm the owner. Hello, this is Bobbing with E. Me, LLC, trade name. This is all me, so I can do whatever I please to do. This is me. I'm the boss. I'm the CEO. This is all me. I'm not holding it back no more. I have to have those personal conversations, the mirror conversations with myself. Like, I can't hold back no more. Because if I hold back all those things that used to hurt me or holding back feelings to save space, what am I? I'm shrinking. I'm not shrinking. I'm elevating. As well as the self-talks that tells you to stay small to maintain comfort. I don't do that no more. I'm not saying stagnant to things that have me comfort. No, because y'all gonna probably be like, dang, E, what makes you happy then? I get bored fast. So do you think I'm going to stay comfortable with something? No, I get bored fast. I don't get comfortable right away no more either. Because if the vibe ain't there, it's not genuine. Hell no, you ain't seeing me last that long. No. As well as too, lastly, the decisions where fear of change weighs out the desire to grow. Stop relying on that fear. Just do it. Fear, it holds us back in so many things that we want to accomplish. I'm not letting fear get in the way of things no more. I stopped that. Like, even with me being able, with my craft here evolving, I'm changing, flip up the tempos and stuff. I'm not letting fear scare me, because regardless, it may not blow how I want to right away, but it's going to blow eventually. They may not hear me now, but they're going to hear me later, and I never know who's listening or watching me. So I'm going to still be me regardless, because that's me being true to who I am, as well as me being raw and uncut and not going into those spaces that shrunk me to try to fit. And I'm not going to shrink myself to fit in them old spaces again. No. It was time for a change. I made a change, and now I am the change, and you're going to be the change too, my friend, within your life and how you want things to go. Because realizing where shrinking shows up allows individuals to identify where expansions is needed. And when you know in whatever part of your life, within the areas of your life, such as the relationships, work or professional, small circles, personal conversations, small talks or decisions, or all of them or a few of them needs to be changed, do so, because you are in control of your life. You are the one who's controlling it. You're the captain of the ship. You're the pilot of the plane. This all revolves around you. And I'm here to cheer you on. I'm holding your hand real tight when I say this again, my friend. You can do anything you put your mind to, but first you need to stop shrinking to fit in them old spaces because they were comfortable for you, or the people are missing you. They can miss you, but if they cannot support you where you at right now, then that goes to show they weren't for you. Okay? Now lastly, y'all, we've got to it. Where is this? Oh, not where, excuse me. Why is this important the most? Why does stopping shrinking matters? Because growth requires room to expand. When you stop shrinking to fit in old spaces, you have growth. It's expanding. The room is getting wide. Like my uncle used to say, ooh, you getting wider. Or I don't want to get wider. You getting wide. It's getting wide now. You expanded some room. You letting some good growth, some good positivity, some good love, self-care, all that coming. Is expanding. When people continue to shrink to maintain comfort, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting the potentials you have, and you're delaying your purpose. If you keep shrinking and making it tight and comfort for everyone else, When you blow like a hot air balloon. Boom! Now everybody feel it. Now you want to give yourself the chance to grow? No, do it now. Do it now. Don't wait till, it gets to the point where in your life you're like, F it, everybody can get it. No, when you like, I don't like that. You need to change it. This is for you. Because when you continue to manage, the shrinking, the comfort, you're limiting your potential and the delay that you have for your purpose. Within staying in environments that no longer support your growth and creates frustration, resentment, and self-doubt all over again that happen over time. My friend, you want to be in a place where it's meant for you. You don't want to suffer no more. You don't want no more pain. Why do you want to stay with that person or stay in that position that gives you that? And yes, granted, you still have love for that person or that thing, but sometimes you got to walk away. You gotta walk away. You gotta love for distance, because once you find yourself, you have peace with yourself. Like I say I can't show y'all on my phone because my phone is connected to the cameras. I have a reminder on I can say it on my laptop, is that I'm at peace with my inner self. I'm coming to peace with my inner self. I'm being the one they didn't see coming up. I'm being the one that they had all these ifs, ands, and buts, infidelities on. Like, she ain't going to do this. She ain't going to do that. Well, keep on saying it, because I am stepping into this cycle of positivity. I'm breaking ties with all the negativity. I'm the one they didn't see coming up. I'm walking in peace. I'm in my peace and nothing and no one can stop me. Okay? Because this is also a big thing. When you stop shrinking, it matters, because purpose often requires new environment, stronger boundaries, and greater confidence. We need it. You want it. Bark like you want it, baby. You got this. Shout for it. Scream for it. Jump for it. Hit the pinata for it. Do what you got to do for it. Because growth is not meant to be hidden. It's not, baby. Show off that. Shake it. Whatever. Show it off. It is meant to be expressed. Express it. You have a mind. You have the voice. You have the right to speak on how you feel and why you feel the way you feel. Outgrowing spaces and people is not a sign of disloyalty. No, it's a sign of development. Like I said, like we leave the hood or whatever, it's not a sign of disloyalty. It's like disloyalty is right. It's like right now, my friend, family, it's not for me no more. I love y'all and I'm still loyal to y'all, but I can't stay here no more. This, like such and such is my home. Like for me, if I was to move out of the city, Baltimore is forever going to be my home. But it may not be for me right now. I gotta move, I gotta go. I'm gonna come and visit, yes. I'm not gonna be like, shout out to the hood or whatever and don't go back to it. No, I'm still love on it because they helped me. And this is where it all started. Once was all a dream started here. Now I'm on top making it and doing what I gotta do for me and mine. Okay? As well as to outgrowing spaces and people, like I said, it's not a sign of disloyalty. It's a sign of development. When you stop shrinking, you permit yourself to evolve into the person you're becoming and you are meant to be. You begin to trust your growth instead of resisting it. You allow your life to reflect your progress rather than your past limitations. That's a lot. That's deep, because you're on this journey. You're on this run of success. We're stopping ourselves from shrinking. We're stopping ourselves from living in this environment of old spaces with old people. We're on a new level. We're advancing. We're looking for change, whether people like it or not. We're standing on things that we used to be scared of showing and displaying to the world. Well, my friend, show it off when you're ready to pop out. Take control of it and be selfish when it's necessary. Okay? So going back now, lastly, to the quote of the week / the day. Growth will outgrow places that comfort once built. You don't have to stay small just to stay accepted. That's what that means overall for me. That hopefully helps for y'all. Growth will outgrow places that comfort once built, because you don't have to stay small just to stay accepted. No. Don't stay small-minded to be accepted in a space that's no longer for you. No, you gotta walk away. Okay? So as always, y'all, I thank you guys so very much for tuning in, well, vibing with me. I appreciate it so much for taking the time out of your busy day to listen or to watch me. I appreciate it a lot. I love you all so much. I really hope that you guys have learned a very good, valuable information that's going to help you in the future. Okay? Because today, remember that growth naturally changes your environment. You are allowed to outgrow spaces that once felt familiar. You are allowed to pursue environments that support your elevation. Not everyone understands your growth, and that's okay. What matters most is honoring who you are becoming. Stop shrinking, start expanding, and keep growing. Your purpose requires room to grow. Okay, and on that note, y'all, I love you guys so very much. Please be safe out here. Enjoy yourself. Please keep in mind that when you're on this journey of success, don't stunt yourself. Don't settle for less, and don't shrink into those old habits just to fit in with others. And know who's for you and know what's not for you, and know what's destined for you and what's not destined for you. Okay, I love you also very much. Please be safe out here. Like I said, once again, enjoy it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm wishing y'all nothing but the best as the rest of April goes, as we step deeper into the second quarter. And please be mindful of what you want out of this. Okay, until next time, beautiful people, that you will hear my voice and see my face. Until then, have a ball. Do what you want to do.